Biggest lie you're being told right now is that all you need is a good sales letter and you can peddle most anything online. False. If you don't have a product that your prospects would crawl across flaming hot coals for, then your business is dead before you even get started. And if you happen to eke out a sale but the product totally stinks, well, you can bet you'll get a ton of refunds and pissed off customers. So let's avoid that nightmare. What you need to do is create impressive, high-quality products that your prospects simply can't resist. Better yet, these products should be quick and easy to make, and you should be able to charge a premium price for them. Is it possible? You bet it is. I'm talking digital products like ebooks, videos, audios, webinars, apps, and similar products. These items are easy to create, easy to deliver, and easy to build a six-figure business with. Now, you've probably seen plenty of people struggling to build a digital product business. These poor guys can't even cover their measly web hosting fees. Some of them go bankrupt trying to get it off the ground. And maybe these sob stories have you thinking that selling digital products is some kind of a sham. Tell that to Bill Gates. Tell that to Amazon Kindle. Tell that to Apple iTunes. Because you know what? Those are the types of products I'm talking about. If you visit a marketplace like iTunes or Kindle, you'll see product creators killing it every single day of the week. You could be one of those product creators once you know the secrets for creating profitable products. And that's exactly what you're about to discover inside this exciting set of training videos. At last, you too will know how to create in-demand products that sell like crazy. So let me tell you what you'll find inside these videos. First off, you'll find out why this whole digital product business is the best business in the world. You can spend a month studying business models, but only one model is going to keep grabbing your attention again and again: selling digital products online. Inside this video, you'll find out why this profitable model is so popular and how you can start building your own digital empire with an astonishing variety of easy-to-create products. Next up, you'll learn how to recognize a hungry market. Here's the key to making a whole lot of money with your business. You need to find a hungry niche, and then you need to figure out what they're already buying. Then all you have to do is give them more of the same to virtually guarantee positive cash flow. So simple, yet so many aspiring business owners get this totally wrong. This video will show you what steps you need to take to do it right. This is the strategy that gives your business a profitable start. After that, you find out whether you should be creating these products yourself or outsourcing them. You see, some people are all over product creation like white on rice. Others freak out because the whole thing sounds so daunting. So the question is, should you create your product yourself or outsource it to a competent professional? By the time you finish watching this video, you'll know the answer to that question. Now, if you decide to put product creation in the hands of a professional, then you'll love this next video. That's because finding an amazing freelancer can be almost as hard as spotting a unicorn in the forest, unless you know these secrets. This video gives you a simple 3-step process for finding, vetting, and hiring a reliable person to create your products. If you like saving a whole lot of money and time, don't miss this training video. Next up, you'll discover the quick and dirty way to get your hands on quality products. Get this, you don't need to create or outsource every product in your sales funnel. One quick and easy way to get your hands on quality products is to purchase the resale rights or private label rights to them. But heads up, there are a lot of really bad resale rights products out there. I'm talking buggy apps, fantastically bad videos, ebooks that look like they were created by a toddler. The good news is you can avoid all these problems, and this video will show you how to locate the best products at the best prices. Next up, you'll discover how to create blow-their-socks-off ebooks and reports. Listen, if you want to turn visitors into buyers and buyers into repeat customers, your content needs to impress your customers. It needs to totally blow them away. This requires two things. Number one, providing good content, and number two, keeping people entertained so they'll keep reading. Put those together and you've got an edutaining product. And this video reveals the 5 secrets of creating edutaining content that gets visitors and buyers coming back for more. Now, if you're looking for the big bucks, then you'll want to check out the training video that shows you the secrets of creating stellar videos. You don't need to be Steven Spielberg to create great videos. I'm sure it helps, but people will still buy your videos even if you don't have a professional video production studio and a multi-million-dollar budget. Just watch this video to discover the best video formats, how to present your content, and what kind of equipment you need. It's easier than you think. Next up, you'll find out how to create hot-selling software and apps. And the good news is you don't need to be a code geek in order to create software and apps that sell really well. After all, entrepreneurs like Bill Gates don't spend their days writing code. They spend it running the business. So if you have a great idea for an app, then you're going to want to watch this video. First, you'll find out how to create an app that people really want to buy. Then you'll discover how to put your team to work creating something pretty amazing. Check it out. After that, you'll discover the secrets of creating amazing live events that sell out. The best part of creating a live event is that you're actually creating two products. First, you can charge admission to the event itself. Then later, you can sell the recordings. Pretty sweet, right? Of course, the key to success is to be sure your event totally rocks. That's what this video shows you how to do. You'll discover the simple 5-step process for choosing a platform, setting up your webinar, and delivering content that keeps your viewers glued to the edge of their seats. And finally, you'll learn about the art of creating online courses that fly off the virtual shelves like crazy. If you're looking to add another awesome product to your sales funnel, check out a multi-part course. This format is an awesome way to deliver content because you get your customers faithfully reading every email you send, seeing your calls to action, and clicking on your links. Check out this video to discover the simple 3-step process for creating your own kick-ass online course. So here's the deal. Everything I've mentioned so far is just a taste of what you'll get inside this video training program. This is the foundation you need to set up a super successful business selling digital products. Because once you know how to create awesome products, then you'll know how to make money. So you're probably wondering what makes this program different than everything else out there. The reason this is the best product creation program on the net is because it was created by not one, but two of this industry's top product creation experts. These are two guys who've pulled down millions of dollars over the years by creating and selling their own products. They've created ebooks, videos, apps, webinars, and more across a whole slew of niches. They know what works. They know how to create super profitable products, and now you too can find out their secrets by getting your hands on this exclusive video training program right now. Listen, I know there are a lot of product creation courses on the web, but the vast majority of them were created by wannabes whose one and only product is about product creation. That doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. So if you want to know the truth about creating in-demand products that sell like crazy, then get the information straight from the real experts by ordering this course today using the buy link on this page. Best of all, if you order right now, you can lock in a low price. I can't guarantee this price will be available if you hesitate and come back later. So make the decision right now to create a successful business. Use the link below to order this video training program so you can finally find out how to create super profitable products. Click the buy button now to get started. You'll be glad you did. If you're thinking about starting a business, then you've probably done a little research on various business models. Maybe you've done so much that your eyes are bugging out and all these business models are becoming a blur. There are so many business models to choose from, including setting up an affiliate business, dropshipping physical products, or even offering services. And that's just a teeny tiny tip of the business model iceberg. But there's one business that stands head and shoulders above the rest. You know what it is? It's creating and selling digital products. I'm talking ebooks, apps, videos, and other products that your customers can access online. Let me tell you why this is so awesome. First off, you're selling your own products rather than someone else's products. The big benefit here is that you make more money selling your own product rather than sharing in someone else's profits. Not only do you get the front-end profits, but you get the customer mailing list and 100% of the back-end profits, and that's pretty sweet. A second benefit is that you don't even have to create these products yourself. If you're not a good writer but you want to sell ebooks and courses, no biggie. Just find a good ghostwriter to flesh out your ideas. If you're not a programmer but you want to create an app, just bring your design ideas to a good architect and coder who can turn your app into a reality. Want to sell videos but you don't know a lick about video production? Again, no problem. There are a whole lot of people who'd be happy to create high-quality videos for you. In other words, just because you're selling a certain type of product doesn't mean you need to create it yourself. So don't let that be a stumbling block on your path to success. A third benefit is that your overhead costs are very low and your profit margins are high. When you're selling digital products, you may have some product creation costs, but you only pay these one time. You never have the ongoing production costs like those who sell physical products. And you don't need to spend a single cent in physical storage, order fulfillment, or shipping. That's because everything is in digital form, so your customers can download their order instantly after they complete the purchase. And that brings us to the fourth benefit. which is that a business model selling digital goods doesn't tie you down to your business. If you're packing and shipping physical products, then you're often tied down to your business. You often need to stay nearby so your business keeps running smoothly. When you sell digital products, you can operate your business from anywhere in the world. You want to go on a 2-month trek across the country in a motorhome? Go for it, because you can run your business just as well on the road as you can from home as long as you can get Wi-Fi or a signal from your phone. In other words, you can leave home for days, weeks, or even months at a time because you can carry your entire business inside a laptop. Talk about super convenient. As you can see, there are a lot of benefits to running a business selling digital products. It really is one of the best businesses in the world because you can run it from almost anywhere in the world, there's a high profit margin, and it's more fun than a barrel of monkeys. So let me tell you about some of the different types of products you can create and sell in your digital business. You may sell just one type, or you may even sell all of them, so listen up. First, there are text products. This includes ebooks, reports, home study courses, and even multi-part courses delivered by email. It also includes things like checklists, gear lists, and worksheets. Another category includes the audio products. These might be podcasts, interviews, how-to talks, and similar products. They might even be recorded teleseminars. Next up, we have video products. This could be anything from a single 3-minute how-to video all the way to a multi-part in-depth video course. The fourth category of digital products includes apps, software, and other tools. Here you might find software-as-a-service platforms, mobile phone apps, and desktop software. Other tools might include mind maps, calculators, and spreadsheets. The final main category of digital products includes live events. This includes webinars and teleseminars, both of which can be recorded and turned into products. You might also include consulting and coaching in the category of live events. While these types of activities might be considered services, many people who are selling information products also sell consulting and coaching on the back end as a premium high-ticket offer. Tell you what, you won't ever get bored selling digital products because there's just so many different types to offer. What you need to do is pick a niche, find out what types of digital goods these folks are buying already, and then offer something similar. So what I'd encourage you to do next is check out the recommended resources section of this site where you'll get more information and tools that will help you start up your business selling digital products, help you with the whole product creation process, and start selling your wares. Check it out. Lean in close here for a second and let me share with you the key to making a whole lot of money with your digital product business. It's this. You need to find a hungry niche. Sounds simple, right? It is. You don't need to overcomplicate or overanalyze this business model. Simply find out what people are already buying and put more of the same in front of them. That's what this video is about, so get comfortable and let's dive in. Now, there are 2 parts to finding a hungry market. The first is to brainstorm possible markets, and the second is to find out which of these markets and associated niches are profitable. Let me make a quick note here. Unless you have an advertising budget that would make a company like McDonald's blush, don't try to latch on to a big market. Instead, carve out a little niche you can dominate. For example, the weight loss industry is huge, but if you try to go up against multi-million-dollar companies like Weight Watchers, you're just going to end up going home to cry to your mama. So instead, what you do is find a similar niche, such as weight loss for women over 40 or weight loss using a specific type of low-carb diet, or any other smaller, reachable segment of the bigger market. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is brainstorm possible markets. You can write down any niche segments you think of, but you'll also uncover the niches as you do your market research. Let me give you a quick list of some of the big and popular markets. Weight loss. Fitness, which includes everything from bodybuilding to running marathons. Health, which includes things such as how to stop smoking, reducing arthritis pain, getting rid of back pain, eating for a healthy heart, and more. Home topics, which includes things such as saving for a home, buying your first home, selling a home design ideas, and do-it-yourself home remodeling. Money topics, such as investing, getting rid of debt, and saving for retirement. Business topics, such as starting a small business, finding funding for a business, marketing topics, and so on. Love and romance, which may include how to find a soulmate, how to develop a better relationship with a spouse, how to save a marriage that's heading for divorce. Another major market includes kids and family. This may include pregnancy topics, how to raise autistic kids, or how to talk to teenagers. Another market idea revolves around pets and animals. This includes topics such as dog training, pet health, teaching a parrot to talk, or raising domestic rats. Yet another big market is the hobby market. This includes activities such as golfing, car restoration, and fishing. Travel is another biggie. This includes anything from traveling in a motorhome to taking cruises to overseas traveling. Computer markets are also popular. This includes computer security, computer programming, and even the basics of using a computer. Still another market is the self-help market. This includes topics such as motivation, getting confidence, and finding happiness. I could list a whole bunch more, but you get the idea. So what I want you to do is set aside about 15 minutes and just brainstorm as many possible markets as you can think of. You can start with the list above, then add to your list by thinking about your own problems, hobbies, and other interests, as well as those of your friends and family. You might also think about interesting topics you've encountered while watching the news, reading, or even eavesdropping. Once you have your big list of potential markets, then you need to whittle down this list so you focus on profitable niches within these markets. Here's where you need to roll up your sleeves and do some market research. Heads up, don't skip this step. This is the step that tells you where the money is at. It can make or break your entire business. So now what you need to do is head over to some marketplaces like Amazon, ClickBank, and Apple's iTunes marketplace. What you need to do is start entering in the keywords related to the markets on your list. For example, if you're looking at a weight loss market, you might enter in a variety of related keywords such as weight loss, lose weight, dieting, fat loss. These words basically hit the same market, but searching for a variety of related words will let you see the big picture. Now you're looking for a couple different things. First, you're looking for evidence that a market is profitable. If there are a lot of sellers in the market selling a variety of products, that's a good sign of a healthy market. Secondly, you're trying to figure out what niches are profitable. So take a look at the best sellers in the market. For example, maybe you run a search for dog training, and you discover that there are several best-selling products that are aimed at training a deaf dog. This might include books, training collars, videos, and more. That's a niche you'll want to investigate further. Next up, go to Google and run a search for your keywords. Check out what the top sites in the market are selling and see if you can uncover the profitable niches. Be sure to also take a look at the sponsored results alongside the regular results. You figure that if marketers are willing to pay to advertise, then they're getting return on their investment. That's the sign of a healthy market. In general, you'll also want to check if there are places where the market gathers. This includes popular blogs, forums, newsletter lists, and even Facebook groups. If the market congregates in these sorts of places, then you know you'll be able to reach this market with your advertising. That's important. You might also head over to Google Trends. Enter your keywords and take a look at if a topic is trending upward over time, which is a good sign. Also, this tool gives you an idea of where in the world people are searching for this information, which will help you profile your target market a bit. Now, if you follow these steps, it'll become pretty clear to you what niches are profitable and what types of products this market is already buying. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to start up a business to sell similar products. So set aside some time today to do your market research so you can find your hungry audience. Be sure to check out the recommended resources section of this site for links that will help you with this very important task. I bet you're getting pretty excited about the idea of creating your own digital products. If you're like a lot of aspiring business owners, this part of the process is even better than being a kid on Christmas morning. Or is it? Because some folks get a little nervous about product creation. If that sounds like you, relax. You have options. You can do it yourself, or you can hire someone else to do it for you. Depending on what kind of product you need, you may even be able to buy the resale rights to a quality product. Whichever option you choose, you'll end up with some pretty darn good products to sell. So, if you're looking at producing unique products, then the first thing we need to do is figure out if you should create the products yourself or outsource them. I'm going to ask you some questions, and I want you to answer them and keep track of your answers. Okay, first question. Do you have the skills needed to create the product? The answer, of course, depends on what type of product you're creating. This might be text products like ebooks, audio products like podcasts, or a video product, or even apps or software. You have to be careful here that you don't overestimate or underestimate your skills. For example, you don't need to be a world-class writer with a language arts degree in order to create a solid text product. If you can get good information across in an entertaining way, then you have what it takes to write an ebook. On the other hand, don't overestimate your abilities. For example, don't tackle a complex app if you're in the process of learning how to code. You're likely to make some time-consuming and expensive mistakes, some of which may even endanger your users' computers. Finally, keep in mind that you may be able to do some parts of the product yourself while hiring others to take care of the more complex pieces. For example, you can write an ebook and then hire a good editor to make your masterpiece shine. Okay, next up. Second question to ask yourself, how much would it cost you to create the product yourself? Whoa. A lot of people look at creating their own products to save money. They'll tell you it's free to create your own products. But you know what? That's not true. Because for every minute you spend creating your own product, you could be doing something else in your business. So you have to consider an opportunity cost. So let's do a quick calculation to see how much it really costs for you to create a product yourself. Yes, there is a little math involved, but I promise it's not hard and you won't be graded. Okay, first let's figure out how much your time is worth. You can do this by taking your current yearly salary, or you can do the calculation based on your annual income goals. So let's say your goal is to make $100,000 this year. Next, ask yourself how many hours you intend to work this year in order to achieve those goals. Let's say you decide to work 40 hours per week for 50 weeks of the year. We take 40 hours times 50 weeks and we come up with a total of 2,000 working hours in a year. Now it's really simple to figure out how much your time is worth. Simply take your yearly income and divide the number of hours worked in a year. So for this example, we take $100,000 and divide it by 2,000 hours. In this case, your time is worth $50 an hour. That's just an example, of course, as your mileage may vary. Insert your own numbers to figure out what your time is worth. But now you need to get a rough estimate of how long it would take to create a product, and that will tell you how much it costs you to do it yourself. For example, if you figure a product would take 30 hours to complete and your time is worth $50 an hour, then it costs you $1,500 to create the product. You may find that a freelancer can do it for less cost. Now, this brings us to the next question. How long would it take you to create the product? It's a good idea to know the answer to this question so that you can figure out how much it costs to create a product yourself. But you'll also want to know the answer because it'll tell you how long it'll take to get a product to market. Now, you need to assess yourself honestly at this point. Sure, if you sat down and worked straight through until a product is complete, it would take X number of hours, days, weeks, or months. But tell me, will you actually sit down and work that diligently? Or will you procrastinate and lose focus and make mistakes which will waste time as you fix them? Are you good with self-motivation? How would you rate yourself with time management and productivity? Would you enjoy creating the product? And if you wouldn't enjoy it, would that further hamper creativity and productivity? Point is, if you're as flaky as a snowstorm when it comes to focusing on a big project, then the do-it-yourself option might not be for you. So there you have it. If you answer the questions presented in this video honestly, you're going to have a pretty good idea of whether you should create this product yourself or outsource it to a qualified professional. So set some time aside right now to figure out what it costs to create products yourself, and whether you have the skills and focus to do it. Then check the recommended resources section on this site for tools and resources to help you with the product creation process. So as you already know, you have options when it comes to creating profitable digital products. You can do it yourself if you have time, skills, focus, and inclination. You can buy the rights to quality products, or you can hire a competent freelancer to create something amazing for you. A good freelancer takes care of the product creation process so that you can focus on other parts of your business like marketing and advertising. Oftentimes, a good freelancer can create a product that's way better than something you could have created. And a good freelancer helps you get your products to market fast so that you can start pocketing those profits. Oh, but there's the rub. Finding that sort of an amazing freelancer can seem like a bit of a fairy tale to a lot of business owners. I mean, you've probably heard the horror stories. The shoddy workmanship, the scammers who take the money and run, or even the freelancers with good intentions who make a lot of promises they can't keep. Tell you what, those people cost you valuable time and money. So if you're going to hire a freelancer, you need to do it right. And that's what this video is about. So let's go through the process of finding and hiring a good freelancer. The first step is to cast a wide net and create a big list of potential candidates. Don't worry too much about the quality of these freelancers in this step. That's what you'll do in the second step. For now, you just want to get a wide variety of freelancers from which to choose. So here's how you do that. Start by asking your friends and business colleagues for referrals. It's awesome if you can get referrals from someone you know and trust, as these freelancers tend to be less of a risk. If you're a member of any business groups online or offline, including forums and Facebook groups, be sure to ask the other members for their recommendations. Secondly, you can post projects on freelancing sites such as Upwork.com and Elance.com. Skip El Cheapo sites like Fiverr, as you're looking for top quality providers and they don't come super cheap. Next, you might check with universities in the area. For example, if you're looking for writers, then check with the English department. They might have a way to reach students, such as bulletin boards in the department, an online bulletin board, or they might suggest you post a want ad in the college newspaper. Next, do some searching online using Google or Bing. Depending on what type of freelancer you're looking for, your search might be something like ghostwriter, freelance writer, ebook writer, software programmer, app coder, video production, voiceover artist. You get the idea. Check the organic results as well as the sponsored ads next to the organic search results. If you get too many broad sites using those searches, then narrow down your search with words such as hire. For example, hire a ghostwriter. Once you get a nice big list of potential candidates, then move on to the next step. The second step is whittle down your list of prospective freelancers. You might end up with dozens of prospective freelancers on your list. Now you need to do your due diligence to uncover the best of the best. Now, I know you probably want to look at prices at this point, but you shouldn't shop around based on price. Find a quality freelancer first and then look at prices. What you're looking for first is someone who has had a long established history of providing quality work. Here's the steps you need to take. First, if you found this person on a freelancing site like Elance, then check their on-site ratings and feedback. Next, go to their website and find out how long they've been in business. You may need to ask them directly if it's not listed anywhere on their site. Next, check their portfolio to be sure they do quality work. If you like what you see so far, then ask for references and follow up with these references. Ask them about the quality of work and overall professionalism of the freelancers. Now, of course, these references are likely to be all good because a freelancer isn't going to give you someone who'll talk smack about him. So your next step is to go to Google and search for the freelancer's name, business name, and website. Look for any red flags like a pattern of complaints about the quality of work, missing deadlines, and similar issues. Once you've done all this, you should be able to easily whittle down your list to the best of the best. Now the last step. The third step is to hire freelancers for a test run. Just because a freelancer has worked out really well for others doesn't mean he or she will work out well for you. That's why you'll want to hire a handful of top freelancers on your list to complete a small project. This gives you an opportunity to test them, see if you communicate well together, and if they provide quality work. Once you complete this step, you should now have a short list of good freelancers who've already proven themselves. Pick the one that best suits your needs and hire them for the big project. Be sure to treat them nicely, because a good freelancer is worth their weight in gold. So that's it for this time. Check the recommended resources section on this site to get some links that'll help you out with the process of finding and hiring a freelancer. It takes some time up front to find the right freelancer, but it saves you a whole lot of time and money in the long run. Here's a dirty little secret that many product vendors keep close to their vest. You don't need to create or outsource every product in your sales funnel. One quick and easy way to get your hands on quality products is to purchase the resale rights or private label rights to them. This includes resale rights for apps, plugins, video products, audios, and text products. I know, it totally feels like cheating. I mean, think about it. You could find a solid product that comes with a proven sales letter, and you could be taking orders in as little as a couple hours from now. But here's the scoop. There are a lot of really bad resale rights products out there. I'm talking real stinkers. You'll see ebooks that are full of misinformation or are poorly written, apps that are so buggy they crash every time you use them, and videos that are so embarrassingly amateur that you'd be ashamed to have your name attached to them. Point is, you can't just pick up the first product you see and expect you'll have a bestseller on your hands. Like anything else, you need to do your due diligence. So, let me tell you how you can get your hands on these products. First off, check the recommended resources section of this site as you'll find some trusted vendors who sell rights to high-quality products. Secondly, you can use Google or Bing to search out vendors who sell the rights to their products. What you'll want to do is search for the type of product you want alongside such terms as resale rights or private label rights. For example, if you're looking for dog training products, you might search for dog training resale rights. If you want to be more specific, you can explicitly search for ebooks, videos, or whatever types of products you want. The third method takes a little longer, but it can score you a big win. The idea here is to approach product vendors directly and ask them if they'd be willing to sell you the resale rights to your product. This works particularly well if you find a vendor who has a solid product, but miserable sales. You'll want to search marketplaces like clickbank.com to uncover these sorts of hidden gems. Be sure to sort your results by popularity and then seek out the products that aren't selling well. In a nutshell, what you're looking for are vendors who create awesome products, but they totally suck at selling them. So why would a vendor sell rights to you? Simple. Because if he's struggling to make even one sale every month or two, he's going to jump at the chance when you offer him a wad of cash, so don't shortchange him. Be generous with your offer and you're likely to make the deal. Okay, so no matter what methods you use to find products, you need to be sure these truly are quality products that will hold their value. So here's what you do next. First, check the sample or demo of the product. If there isn't one available, then ask for it. Secondly, hit up Google or Bing and research the vendor. You want to make sure you're dealing with an honest person who will uphold his end of the license. Third, check the terms of the license. Skip master resale rights products as these will devalue quickly. What you're looking for are quality products with a relatively low number of resale rights licenses being sold. If you can find something with only 100 licenses being sold, that's perfect. In big markets, you may be okay with 250 or even 500 total licenses. Heads up, if you're buying PLR text products, which are private label rights products, then the number of licenses being sold isn't so much of an issue. That's because you should tweak these text products to make them unique. Don't worry, this actually doesn't take long and it's not hard. In fact, you don't even have to do it yourself. You can hire a competent freelancer to do it for you. One really good way to create a unique ebook or report out of PLR content is to compile multiple products. For example, you can cut pieces out of a dozen PLR reports and ebooks to create one new and completely unique ebook. Another good way to create a unique product out of PLR content is to change the format if the license terms allow it. For example, you can turn a report into a video or even a podcast, or you might take multiple ebooks and turn them into a video series. So you get the point here. No matter what type of product you're purchasing, be sure it's a high-quality product sold by a reputable vendor. If you're buying private label rights products, then change it up a bit to make it unique so you aren't competing with hundreds of others who are selling the exact same thing. Once again, I encourage you to check out the recommended resources section on this site, where you'll find links to quality products. No matter what you're selling, there's a good chance you'll need to create some reports or ebooks for your business. These products might be your bread and butter products, or they might be lead magnets you use to pull people into your sales funnel so you can sell them apps or other products. Point is, you're going to need to know how to create content that blows your prospects, customers, and readers' socks off. There are two parts to the process of impressing the heck out of your readers. The first part is you need to share good info. The second part is you need to keep people entertained so they'll keep reading. You'll find out about both of these pieces right here in this video. So let's start with the first part, which is that you need to provide good and useful information. I know, I sound like Captain Obvious here. But so often I see product vendors put out some pretty crappy products. It's like they just rehash a few bits of advice, fill out the rest of the ebook with fluff and filler, and call it a day. Don't do that. Even if you're selling an inexpensive report, or even if you're giving it away as a lead magnet, you want to offer your very best secrets. You want to impress the hell out of your prospects and customers, because that's what will turn them into repeat buyers and happy campers that refer you to others. Let me put it this way. The stuff you put into your free reports should be what others are charging money for. The stuff you put into your $25 course should be what others are charging $100 for. Get the point? Under-promise and over-deliver. Now, the number one key to creating great info is to be sure you're giving your readers what they want. Yep, you need to do your market research. Go to Amazon, ClickBank.com, JVZoo.com, and other marketplaces to find out what types of content they're already buying. Then create something on the same topic, but better than what's out there. That's the first key. The second key is to make your content valuable and useful to the readers. Here's what to add to your content to boost the value. Lots of examples. Don't just teach a how-to process. Offer lots of examples so your readers really understand it. Mind maps. Some people will understand the content better if you add in a mind map to explain the big concepts. Checklists, worksheets, and spreadsheets. Basically, you want to offer your readers tools so they can take action and get good results. Graphs, charts, and infographics to offer visual representation of data. Calls to action. This is where you specifically tell people to take action on what they just learned in your product. People who take action and get good results will view your products much more favorably than those who don't do anything with the information. Okay, so providing good, actionable content is the first key to creating a best-selling product. The second key is to engage your readers so they keep reading. You see, you could offer the best information on the entire planet, but if your writing style is as dry as burnt toast, people aren't going to read it. Ain't nobody got time for that. You got to keep them reading, and that means you need to keep them entertained. So let me share with you some tips for keeping your readers engaged. The first tip is to write with a light conversational tone. Imagine writing to your best friend. You wouldn't pull out your $100 college words. You wouldn't sound like an overeducated twit. You would just write with a friendly tone and share good info. That's the way you should create your products too. The second tip is to pique your readers' curiosity. One really good way to keep people's eyes glued to your content is to arouse their curiosity. This is like creating an itch that they can only scratch if they keep reading. Let's suppose you're writing a book about weight loss. Here's an example of how to create curiosity. Coming up in just a few pages, you'll discover the #1 weight loss trick Hollywood celebrities use when they need to drop a quick 10 pounds. See how that works? Pretty slick, huh? Good places to drop these curiosity arousers include the introduction of the report or ebook to get people reading, the beginning of each new chapter or section to urge people to read the chapter, the middle of each chapter or section to keep people reading until the end of each chapter or section to get people to start the next chapter, next to any links with calls to action to get people to click on those links. Next up, the third tip is to inject some humor. But be careful here, because not everyone finds the same sort of stuff funny. So use humor lightly until you get a feel as to what your readers respond to. You can test this out on your social media accounts and blog. If they like your humor there, then they'll like it in your reports and ebooks too. The fourth tip is to tell stories. Tell relevant stories about yourself or tell them about other people in the niche. This engages your readers on an emotional level and makes your content more memorable. The fifth tip is to format the content so it's easy to read. Don't make your readers read big walls of text. Create short paragraphs with short sentences. Use bulleted lists, subheadlines, Johnson boxes, graphs, images, illustrations, and other graphics to break up the text. So there you have it. The key to creating good content is to give people useful information that they want and serve up this information in an entertaining way so they keep reading. Do these two things and you'll have some happy readers. I'll let you go now so you can go outline your next report or ebook. Before you do that, check out the recommended resources section on this site, which will help you build and grow your digital product business. You don't need to be Steven Spielberg to create great videos. I'm sure it helps, but people will still buy your videos even if you don't have a professional video production studio and a multi-million-dollar budget. Tell you why. Because people are primarily interested in the information you're presenting and the way you're presenting it. This doesn't mean you should put out crappy videos that look like a toddler slapped them together. I mean, if you're going to do that, it's better to hire a professional to put your video together. However, you don't have to sweat and worry that every single second of the video needs to be polished to perfection. You just need to be sure your customers are getting high-quality information wrapped up in an entertaining presentation. Okay, so the first thing you need to know is that there are basically a few different types of videos that work pretty well for product videos. The first video is a talking head video. Like the name implies, you go on camera and share the information as if you're talking face-to-face with a friend. This particular type of video works even better if you do a demonstration while you're explaining the how-to process. A good example of this is a cooking show. The chefs are actually putting together the recipe as they explain how to do it. This would work for a variety of other topics too. For example, you could demo how to do lifts in a bodybuilding video. Or you could demo how to train a dog to sit in a dog obedience video. Or maybe you'll show car enthusiasts how to change the oil on a car in a car maintenance video. So you get the point. The next type of video you can create is the slideshow presentation video. You don't need to show yourself in this video. As the name implies, you show slides instead. This includes slides with both text and graphics. You can also record your screen to show viewers how to do something such as use a piece of software. The third common type of video is a combination of the talking head and slide presentation video. For example, the bulk of the video might be a slide presentation, but one segment is a demo video to show viewers exactly how to do something. Now, let's talk about equipment first and then presentation. You don't need to write anything down because I'll list the equipment in the recommended resources section of this site. So for now, all you have to do is listen to this quick rundown of the gear you'll need to make the videos. First, you need a quiet place to record. You may need to kick the family or your housemates out of the house for a few hours if you don't have a quiet room. Be sure to keep pets away, shut off phones, and disable anything else that may become a noisy distraction. Next, you'll need a nice backdrop. If you're doing a talking head or demo video, then make sure you're not doing it in front of a pile of dirty laundry or a messy desk or an unmade bed. A neutral wall works if you don't have a professional background. Next up, get a good microphone. Check out the Audio-Technica line for good quality and even professional-grade mics. You'll also need a good camera. These days, many digital cameras and even some high-end phones can record high-def video. So there's a good chance you already have what you need to record your talking head videos or demos. Next, get your hands on the slide presentation software. Here you can use something like PowerPoint or the equivalent. You might also check out professional tools such as Prezi.com. You'll also need screen recording software. Camtasia Studio by TechSmith is a good choice. This software also includes editing capabilities. But if you don't get Camtasia or something similar, then you'll also need video editing software. There are a lot of both free and paid options on the market. You can start by checking out a platform like Blender at blender.org or Lightworks at lwks.com. Okay, so that's your gear list. Now let me run through a few quick tips for creating a good video. Tip 1 is to write a script, but don't be too scripted. You do want to make sure you cover all the points, but you don't want to sound like a robot reading a script. Number 2 is to get a voiceover artist to narrate if you do end up sounding robotic. Check out voices.com for voiceover professionals. Or you might even post a project on Upwork or Elance for someone who will produce the complete video for you. Tip number 3 is to make sure your video is entertaining and keeps people engaged. You do this by presenting the information in a light, conversational way. You'll also want to keep the slides or scenes moving at a good clip so that the video is visually interesting. For example, slides should be succinct with just a few keywords and a graphic. That way you can move through them quickly. Here's a bonus tip. Check out the popular videos on YouTube and note how these videos move along fast to hold interest. Scenes or slides may be on screen for as little as a few seconds at a time in some cases, and longer at other times. Altering the pace that slides or scenes change also makes your video more interesting. Tip 4 is to retake and edit ruthlessly. Don't expect to get it right on the first try. Retake and edit until you have something you're proud of. Okay, so that's it for this time. Again, be sure to check out the recommended resources section on this site, where you'll find plenty of links and extra guidance to help you create awesome video products. You don't need to be a code geek in order to create software and apps that sell well. After all, entrepreneurs like Bill Gates don't spend their days writing code. They spend it running the business. So if you have a good idea for an app, then you're going to want to watch this video. First off, the key to creating good software is to be sure that you're creating something that fills a need and that it's something people really want. You may need to start with some brainstorming to figure out what type of software you'll create. Ask yourself what sorts of apps or software you wish you had. You might ask your friends too. Sometimes you can find a need just by thinking about your problems or someone else's problems. You'll also want to head over to iTunes and Google Play for the Android to find out what sort of apps people are already buying. You can also check the software department on sites like Amazon. Here's a pro tip. Be sure to read the reviews on these apps and software. These reviews will give you plenty of ideas about how to improve on the current solution and fill the market's needs. You might also confirm this market research by surveying your audience. Find out what sorts of solutions they need that the market isn't filling. Find out what the current best-selling apps and software are lacking. That way you'll know how to create something that's better than anything else on the market. Now, once you have an idea for software or an app, you're going to need to design it. If you don't have any experience with this, then now is the time to bring in a software architect. See, here's the thing. Most software developers know coding, but they're not experts in software architecture. They'll have a hard time bringing your ideas and specs to reality, especially if this is a complex piece of software. It would be like asking a general contractor to build you a house without blueprints. He won't be able to do it, and he may not have the skills to create the blueprints himself. That's why you hire an architect to create blueprints for your home. And that's why you need to hire a software architect to create blueprints for your software. Here are some questions to ask yourself to help you and your architect design your software. First question, what do you want your software to do? Be very specific here. What will your users input, and what will be the result when they interact with the app? A very simple example is if you were designing an app that calculated daily calories for people who wanted to lose weight. Your app would ask people to input their gender, height, weight, activity level on a scale of 1 to 5, and when they click the calculate button, they get a target number of calories to eat daily. Second question, what will your app's user interface look like? This is the design portion. Here you need to plan out the colors, icons, and other graphics, button design, and more. Again, you'll need to be very specific. For example, if you say you want the background color to be blue, your architect and coder will want the hex code for the exact shade of blue you have in mind. They'll want to know exactly what text to include. They'll want to know exactly how big the borders should be around a text box. You get the idea. You need to be super specific about the details, and you need to detail these specifics for every screen. Let's go back to the calorie app I mentioned a couple moments ago. You need to design the first screen where the user inputs the data, and then you'll need to design the second screen where the app spits out the ideal daily calories. Special note here, if your app has separate interfaces for the back office and the front end, then you need to design and plan the form and function for both user interfaces and all the associated screens. An example of this is if you develop software for business owners who want to install a social media platform on their website. You have the back office interface for the webmaster so they can customize the script, manage content, and manage members. Then you have the interface for the members, which includes sign-up forms, a members area, chat, and more. You need to plan all these screens down to the last detail. Okay, so once you've designed the form and function of your app, it's time to bring in your software developer. Be sure to do your due diligence first when selecting a programmer. You want someone who has plenty of experience and a good track record with creating apps and software. One note here. You'll want to retain your software developer to help you work out bugs or add features after the software is complete. Which brings us to the final point, beta testing. Your developer will test the software, you'll test the software, but you'll also want to bring in a group of real users to test your software too. That's because different users interact with the software differently. Plus, various users will install the software on different computer configurations and platforms. That's why you'll want to bring in at least a half dozen or more people who'll put the software through its paces to uncover any bugs. The more complex your software is, the more testers you're going to want. So that's it for this time. Be sure to check out the recommended resources section on this site, where you'll get links to tools and other resources to help you create products and grow your business. The beauty of creating a live event, such as a webinar, is that you actually get two products. The first product is the live event itself. Since live events have a high perceived value, you might even attach a premium price tag to attend the event. Once the event is over, you'll have the recordings to do with as you please. You can sell them, give them away as lead magnets, compile multiple recordings into a home study course, or even chop up a long recording to create multiple products. Pretty sweet, huh? So that's what this video is about. Here you'll find out the finer points of planning and setting up a live event such as a webinar. So without further ado, let's jump in. Step 1. Choose your webinar format. Here you need to choose the topic for your webinar and how you're going to present the information. To figure out the topic, as usual, you'll need to do some market research. If people are already buying webinars, books, or other products on some particular topic, that's a good sign that they'll buy a seat in your webinar too. Secondly, ask yourself how you'll present the information. Here's a few options. Slide presentation style. Basically, we're talking a PowerPoint style presentation that you narrate. You'll need to keep this moving along quickly to keep your audience engaged. Be sure to use a variety of slides with text, graphics, charts, and more to make it visually interesting. Another webinar format is the talking head style. This is where the camera is aimed at you and/or your guest speakers during the webinar. Demo video. This is where you show yourself actually performing some activity. You might demo a piece of software, or you could demo a physical activity such as tuning a carburetor. You also have to decide if you're going to do this webinar alone, with another person, or perhaps even with a panel of experts. Getting a big name as a guest will help you draw more people to your webinar, plus the guest will usually help you promote. Next up, step 2 is to select your platform. What you're looking for is a webinar platform that allows you to record the event. If you're holding a small event with 10 people or less, such as a group coaching session, you might use Google Hangouts on air. Otherwise, for larger groups, you'll need a bigger platform, such as gotowebinar.com or a similar platform. Next step, step 3, prepare your content. If you're doing a slide presentation style webinar, then of course you'll need to prepare your slides along with notes for your narration. One note, it's a good idea to practice going through the slides several times before the live event. This way you'll know how long it takes and you'll get a sense of pacing. Be sure to record your practice sessions and play them back to see how an audience will view them. If you have guest speakers, then you'll want to prepare an outline for them so they know what to expect. But heads up, no matter what style webinar you're doing, don't prepare a word-for-word script. That's because you don't want everyone on the webinar to be reading their script, or the whole thing will come off sounding stilted and robotic. Your viewers will fall asleep. Heck, maybe even you and your guests will fall asleep. Okay, so technically your next step is to promote the whole event like crazy, so you sell out your seats. I'll leave that step to you. Since this video is about product creation, we're going to skip that and head to step 4, holding the event. The first thing to remember here is to be sure to record the event. Check, double check, and triple check that the webinar is being recorded. You don't want to get all the way through your webinar just to find out that dang thing didn't record. Secondly, most webinars include questions from the audience. You need to decide if you want viewers to directly ask their questions on air or if you want them to submit the questions via the text chat. The benefit of having viewers submit questions via text chat is that you can control the quality. In other words, you only need to read questions that you want to answer. The benefit of having viewers ask their questions directly is that you can offer more in-depth and customized help when you have a live conversation with the viewer. Which option is best? It depends on the size of your audience and the goal of your webinar. For example, if you're running a large webinar with hundreds of viewers, it's a good idea to screen questions by having viewers submit them via text chat. And now the last step. Step 5. Creating your product. Now that you're done with the webinar, you need to go grab some video editing software and create your product. Check the recommended resources section of this site for links to editing software. You can take this product in several directions. For example, you can chop up this webinar to create a series of standalone products. You can chop up the webinar to create one product with several modules. You can offer the recording as is with little to no editing. You can use the recordings as a lead magnet. You can add your webinar to a membership site. You can sell resell rights licenses to the recordings in order to get more people distributing your product. You can create transcripts and offer a text product based on the webinar. And that's just the tip of the product creation iceberg. Get creative, think outside the box, and you can turn your webinar into multiple streams of profit for your business. That's it for this time. Once again, be sure to check out the recommended resources section on this site for links to useful video editing products. Need to whip up another product to add to your sales funnel? Here's an idea. Create a multi-part online course. What I'm talking about here is content that's delivered over the course of a week or maybe a month, maybe more depending on the topic. For example, you might create a 5-part course that lasts 1 week, with the first part delivered on Monday and the last part on Friday. This works great if you're teaching something fairly easy which people can absorb and take action on within a week's time. Or maybe you're teaching something a bit more complex, so you make it a month-long course. In this case, you might deliver just one meaty lesson per week. Oh sure, you can stretch it out further too. For example, maybe you have a 2-month course. But here's the key. Just be sure you're not stringing people along for no reason. I mean, there's no sense in taking 8 weeks to teach someone how to clean and tune a classic car's carburetor. This is something a car enthusiast wants to do in 1 day or over a weekend, so a multi-part course wouldn't be a good way to present this information. On the other hand, a multi-part course on losing weight would be a good idea. You could present the nuts and bolts of the diet in the first week, and then spend the next several weeks providing advanced exercise tips, recipes, motivation, and more. Makes sense, right? Okay, so let's go through the step-by-step of creating a multi-part e-course. For this video, I'm going to assume you're as smart as a whip, and you already know you need to do some market research to figure out what your market wants, needs, and is willing to buy. Once you take that important step, then you can start rolling through the rest of the steps outlined in this video. Step 1 is to decide how long your course will be. Length depends on what all you need to teach and whether it makes sense to deliver this particular topic over a lengthy amount of time. If your prospects are looking for instant gratification on a topic, then keep the course length short, such as a week or 2. If it's a topic that would benefit from a longer presentation, then you may opt for a course that runs for 1, 2, 3 months, or perhaps even longer. You'll also want to consider how many steps you need to teach. For example, if you need to teach 5 easy steps, then you might create 5 lessons delivered over a week's time. If the lessons are more complex, then you might deliver 5 lessons over 5 weeks' time. Next, step 2 is to decide what all to include in the course. If you followed the advice in the last step, then each of your lessons should detail 1 step of a process. So that means you already know what to include in each lesson. You can then deliver these lessons either via video or downloadable PDF files. Beyond that, it's a good idea to add value to your course. You can even charge a premium price for admission if you jack up the perceived value by adding some desirable goodies. Let me give you a few examples. First off, you can add value by including homework for your students. When your students turn in their homework, you can even offer feedback. That way your course isn't just an online course. It actually comes with personal coaching, which is really valuable. For example, if you have a course about how to write an awesome sales letter, then the homework might include items such as writing 3 headlines and submitting them to you. Another example, if you have a weight loss course, you might have students figure out their daily calorie requirements and send the calculations over to you for comment. The goal is to get people to take small, consistent steps towards the overall goal of the course. That way, at the end of the course, they'll have some measurable or tangible results. Another way to add value to your course is to toss in some worksheets, checklists, mind maps, or similar items that help people take action on your course. If people get good results when they take your course, then you can bet they'll become rabid repeat buyers. Still, another way to add value is to include other valuable and desirable products. This might be an app, videos, ebooks, or anything else that helps your students achieve their goals. Still, one more way to add value is to offer free group support for the duration of the course. This might be a weekly coaching call, access to a secret Facebook group, or access to a password-protected forum. You can offer group coaching, and the group as a whole can answer questions and offer support to other members. Next up, step 3 is to automate your course delivery. You don't have to be chained to your computer every day sending out lessons. Instead, you can automate the whole thing using an autoresponder. It's a good idea to send out a short email along with a download link to your text or video lesson. This short email should serve as a teaser to entice people to download the lesson. So tell your students what benefits they'll get if they download the lesson. You can even make them a little curious about what's inside the lesson. So here's how it works. Simply have new students sign up for your mailing list. They'll get their first lesson automatically when they join, and then they'll get each subsequent lesson at a predetermined interval such as daily or weekly. Here's a tip. You want to keep people reading and engaging in the course. So at the end of each lesson, be sure to whet their appetite for the next lesson. Let me give you a quick example. Let's suppose you have a weight loss course. You might arouse curiosity and get them excited about tomorrow's lesson by saying something like, "Tomorrow you'll discover the #1 trick for getting rid of stubborn belly fat. You won't want to miss it." So there you have it. That's how to create a course that will keep students engaged, help them achieve their goals, and of course, put a nice profit in your pocket at the same time. Before you go, check out the recommended resources section here on this site to find links to additional training material that will turn you into a master at creating awesome products.